The Middle East has entered one of its most volatile phases in recent years as a series of targeted killings of top Iranian officials by Israel has triggered a dangerous cycle of retaliation, international condemnation, and fears of a widening regional war. At the center of the crisis is the killing of Ali Larijani, Iran's Secretary of the Supreme National Security Council, a powerful figure deeply embedded in both the political and security architecture of the country.
His death in an Israeli airstrike has not only shaken Tehran's leadership, but also drawn sharp reactions from global powers, most notably Russia. Moscow responded swiftly and forcefully to the developments, condemning the killing of senior Iranian leadership figures and warning of escalating instability. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov issued a stark statement underscoring Russia's position.
Dmitry Peskov said, "We unequivocally condemn any actions aimed at harming the health of or indeed murdering or eliminating members of the leadership of sovereign independent Iran, as well as those of other countries. We condemn such actions. Russia, a long-standing strategic partner of Iran, has repeatedly called for restraint and dialogue. The Kremlin has framed the strikes as violations of sovereignty and warned that such actions risk pushing the region into a broader and more unpredictable conflict. The reaction also reflects Moscow's deeper geopolitical concerns with existing alliances and ongoing conflicts, including its war in Ukraine. Russia sees the Middle East escalation as another destabilizing factor in an already fragile global order. Ali Larijani's death marks one of the most significant blows to Iran's leadership in the current conflict. He was not only a senior security official, but also a central figure in shaping Iran's strategic direction, bridging political authority with military influence. Iranian authorities confirmed that Larijani was killed in an Israeli airstrike in Tehran alongside several associates, including members of his family. His assassination follows a broader Israeli campaign targeting Iran's leadership structure, part of what analysts describe as a decapitation strategy aimed at weakening Tehran's command and control capabilities. Larijani's killing was not an isolated incident. In rapid succession, Israel has reportedly targeted and eliminated multiple senior Iranian figures. Among them are Ghulam Reza Soleimani, head of the besieged paramilitary force, and Esmail Khatib, Iran's intelligence minister. These strikes indicate a deliberate effort to dismantle key pillars of Iran's internal security and intelligence networks. Israeli officials have framed the operations as necessary to counter what they describe as Iranian threats, both domestically and internationally. The besieged force, for example, has long been associated with internal repression and suppression of protests, making its leadership a strategic target. Iran's response was swift and forceful. Within hours of confirming Larijani's death, Tehran launched a series of missile strikes targeting Israeli territory. These included advanced multi-warhead missiles designed to overwhelm air defense systems. The attacks hit several areas, including central Israel, resulting in civilian casualties and infrastructure damage. At least 2 people were killed and several others injured in one of the strikes. Explosions were reported across multiple cities, while air raid sirens forced residents into shelters. Fires broke out in residential areas, and emergency responders scrambled to contain the damage. Iran's Revolutionary Guard described the strikes as part of a broader retaliation campaign, signaling that the response was not symbolic but operational and ongoing. The exchange of attacks has significantly escalated tensions across the Middle East. Beyond direct strikes between Iran and Israel, the conflict has begun to spill over into neighboring regions, including heightened tensions involving Hezbollah in Lebanon and growing concerns over attacks on critical infrastructure. Global markets have also reacted. Oil prices have surged amid fears of supply disruptions, particularly as instability threatens key transit routes and energy facilities. The Strait of Hormuz, a vital artery for global oil transport, has become a focal point of concern, with shipping disruptions raising alarms across international markets. Inside Iran, the killings have triggered widespread public reaction. Thousands took to the streets of Tehran to attend funeral processions for Larijani and other slain officials. Coffins draped in national flags were carried through crowds chanting slogans and expressing both grief and anger. The scale of the turnout reflected both national mourning and a surge of public sentiment against external aggression. At the same time, Iranian officials have vowed a decisive response, signaling that further escalation is likely. Israeli leadership has made its position clear. The campaign will continue. Officials have emphasized that no senior Iranian figure is beyond reach, indicating a shift toward more aggressive and direct targeting of leadership. The message is both tactical and psychological, intended to deter Iran while demonstrating Israel's intelligence and operational capabilities. This phase of escalation is part of a broader conflict that began in late February 2026 when Israel launched a major military operation targeting Iranian nuclear and military infrastructure. That initial phase reportedly included the assassination of Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, a development that dramatically altered the country's leadership structure and intensified hostilities. Since then, the conflict has evolved into a sustained military confrontation involving airstrikes, missile attacks, and proxy engagements across the region. The international community has responded with a mix of condemnation, concern, and calls for restraint. Russia has been among the most vocal critics, urging immediate de-escalation and negotiations. Other nations have echoed similar sentiments, warning of catastrophic consequences if the conflict expands further. However, diplomatic efforts appear stalled. Statements from global leaders suggest little progress toward meaningful dialogue, raising fears that military escalation may continue unchecked. Analysts warn that the situation is rapidly approaching a tipping point. There are growing concerns about the direct involvement of additional regional powers, increased attacks on global energy infrastructure, and the possibility of a broader multi-front war. The combination of targeted assassinations, retaliatory strikes, and geopolitical rivalries has created a highly volatile environment with unpredictable consequences. What began as a series of targeted strikes has now evolved into a crisis with far-reaching implications. From rising oil prices to disrupted trade routes and heightened military tensions, the ripple effects are being felt far beyond the Middle East. This situation underscores the interconnected nature of modern conflicts, where regional disputes can quickly escalate into global challenges. The killing of Ali Larijani has marked a turning point in the Israel-Iran conflict. It has intensified hostilities, drawn in global powers, and pushed the region closer to a broader confrontation. With retaliatory strikes continuing and diplomatic efforts faltering, the path forward remains uncertain. What is clear, however, is that the Middle East is no longer on the brink of escalation. It is already in the midst of it.